Mastering modal verbs, strong and weak obligations. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our channel, where we turn English language learning into a delightful journey. Today, we're diving deep into the realm of modal verbs, specifically focusing on expressing strong and weak obligations. It's all about choosing the appropriate modal verb for every situation. Let's get started. In English, we use modal verbs to express obligations, which can range from very strong to very weak. Strong obligations are things you must do, like a law or a rule. On the other hand, weak obligations are more like recommendations or suggestions. The primary modal verbs we use to express obligations are must, have to, should, and ought to. Understanding when and how to use these verbs properly is key to mastering the concept of obligations. When you want to express a strong obligation, something that is necessary or required, you can use must or have to. For instance, you must complete your homework before playing video games. I have to go to the dentist tomorrow. Both sentences convey a sense of necessity, a thing that needs to be done. When it comes to expressing weak obligations, things that are advisable but not mandatory, we generally use should or ought to. For example, you should eat more fruits and vegetables. We ought to visit Grandma this weekend. Both sentences suggest an advisable action, but it's not obligatory. It's up to the person's discretion. While both must and have to express strong obligation, their usage can slightly vary. Must is often used for personal obligations or rules, especially when the speaker has control over the obligation. Have to, on the other hand, is used for external obligations, usually imposed by others or by some rules outside of personal control. Consider these examples. I must stop eating so much chocolate. Personal decision. I have to wear a uniform at work. External rule. Similar to the previous section, while both should and ought to express weak obligations or advisability, there's a subtle difference. Should is much more common and used in all kinds of contexts. Ought to, though less frequently used, can sound more formal or serious. Here are some examples. You should take an umbrella. It might rain later. General advice. You ought to apologize for your mistake. A bit more formal. And that's it for today. We've explored the fascinating world of modal verbs for expressing strong and weak obligations. Remember, practice is key when it comes to mastering these concepts. So, must, have to, should, and ought to start using these in your daily conversations. I hope you found this video helpful. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more English language learning videos. Until next time, keep practicing and happy learning.